My name is Matthew. I served in the U.S. Navy between 1991 and 1996. I worked in the Seabees as a construction worker. We built a lot of buildings on bases. We also did a lot of work out in communities. I was assigned a battalion. As I was on my way up to my room, a couple gentlemen asked, if I wanted to hang out that night. And I thought, this is cool, I don't really know anybody. This would be a chance to get to know somebody. Well, it turned out that they were planning a hazing type of event, and it just turned into more than that. There was a lot of drinking involved. There was a hazing incident where they indoctrinated me into the battalion, but then also later on I was held hostage, I was beaten, and I was raped. After that, my thoughts of starting a new career and all the excitement was gone. I didn't know quite what to do because I knew if I would say something, that would definitely end my career as I knew it. So I held on to a lot of what happened, but I did eventually, through stress, I reported the hazing incident to the battalion. And when I did that, the gentleman was disciplined. I struggled for a long time while in the service trying to deal with what happened. So I got myself into a lot of trouble. I self-medicated quite a bit with alcohol. But once I did leave the military, I thought leaving the military was going to solve all my problems. But of course, that's not what happened. I continued living the way I was in the military, trying to deal with these issues through, drinking and that kind of thing. The problem is I lost all trust in people. It was very hard for me to connect with people. So that deteriorated all my relationships. Guilt, I had a very hard time with guilt. I was isolated in my parents' basement. I had no contact with people, hardly any with my parents. So, in a way, this did protect me from being victimized again, but it did horrible things to my life. I wasn't able to leave my home. I got to a point in my life where I decided that I had to do something different. I thought about suicide. I thought about what I really wanted in my life, and I decided that I was going to give the VA a try and try to push through these issues. So that's when I got out in 1996, and about 2000, I started actively seeking help. I saw a VA psychologist, and there was no way I was going to talk about my military sexual trauma, but he did recognize symptoms of PTSD, and that's where I really started working on myself. I did have some shortfalls, and it was very hard at the beginning, but once I started believing that these people were trying to help me, and I started trusting them, that's when things really started to look up for me. What I love about individual counseling now is I work with a gentleman. He's a doctor, psychologist. He's also encouraged me so much to grow in my life. I think I did a lot of great work in the psychotherapy groups. You make goals and you commit to goals, and you're kind of held responsible by the rest of the group. I was able to talk about this military sexual trauma. And not only that, I was able to work with those issues, which was extremely hard because I spent so many years trying to suppress these thoughts and emotions. It was a feeling of relief. It was also a feeling of, this happened to me, but it doesn't define me. For a long time, I thought of myself as three things: a military veteran, someone that had suffered a military sexual trauma, and someone that was diagnosed with PTSD. But once I started working with this and accepted this, I started thinking myself outside the box and a lot larger than I ever had before. Now I'm in school, studying to be a social worker. I'm married. I own a home. I'm very satisfied with my life, and I'm happy. I am so happy that I went to the VA and got some help.